This is Sunset Overdrive. We're on Xbox One X. The game is sadly not enhanced, but it's still pretty good. So I thought, hey, what better way to kind of close out the generation than jumping back on this early favorite of mine. So this game is one wacky, weird, over-the-top, insane, and absolutely hilarious experience that is available on Game Pass, and I think always should be. Just due to the fact that the licensing and everything on it. See, it's kind of weird because this is an Insomniac game, and they're now under the PlayStation brand, so we're very unlikely to see a sequel to this game at any point in the future, which is thoroughly disappointing because this game is just really awesome. I mean, they took forever to decide that they weren't doing a sequel, or maybe there was never a discussion on doing a sequel. It doesn't matter. This game was just really fun. I had a great time. It was actually one of my early reviews that I was able to do with Microsoft at the beginning of the generation. This was kind of a big deal for me. I got to check it out early, I got to do it back then. I did a full walkthrough that you can check out that's still going. And yeah, it was just kind of a big moment. I did the whole, at the Microsoft store, they did a sort of midnight launch for it, and I got a cool shirt for it and stuff, and some of the actual drink. I still have a can of the actual Overdrive available here. I did a video too where I drink it and everything like that. I just really love this game. So it's kind of just one insane, over-the-top, and fast-moving traversal-based game. So you're fighting these crazy mutant monsters. There's this whole sort of wild night that happens, and then you kind of deal with all the aftermath of it, of people being turned into these crazy energy drink type monsters that are oozing, and they explode into this liquidy mist. And there's this whole really quite hilarious narrative that you're working within, with just a great roster of characters. I really did enjoy the various kind of factions that you run into, and it was just such a fun game. I'm just trying to get that toilet paper there. So it's a game that is an open world, so you can explore the full kind of breadth of the environment, which has this beautiful kind of futuristic look to it. And I mean, it doesn't necessarily hold up as being as clean on the One X, just due to the fact that it doesn't have an enhancement because it is an earlier game, and it'll probably never get an enhancement. But if you have it on PC, which I do, it looks just absolutely gorgeous. The colors just pop. Even now, I think visually, the game's got such a cool style to it, and there's just not really too many games out there quite like this. It also had 2 DLC packs that released that added a little bit more story and some were a little bit new. Those are fun too, not necessarily too long, but just some good expansion over the game. So it's an open world, you can do whatever you want, you can go for run through it, and you get new traversal options as you progress. You get kind of combos that you build up as you battle things, and the game's just, it's wacky. There's this crazy boss fight thing that I don't want to kind of spoil, but if you've played it and you know what I'm talking about, where it's this huge mascot thing, yeah, that was so awesome. And in general, it's just, it's fun, and it's all about speed too, right? Grinding on rails, unleashing these crazy kind of combos as you try not to die, and you blast away other opponents in this free-flowing open world. I just really love this game. I hope that's kind of getting across there, that I just had a lot of fun with it back in the day, and I always wanted a sequel, and obviously that's never going to happen now, but it was just really cool. So many different bosses, so many ways that you can explore this world, so many things you can blast away and fight with. And even now that I've done the story and everything at this point, there's still this large scale environment that you can explore and blast things with. And then you can also, kind of gather all of the collectibles, because there's a ton of those everywhere around the map. And it's kind of wild. You also have all these cool abilities and skills that you can kind of work through, and then you can getting all these different like wacky guns. It's just like I found this hilarious, the type of humor in here, and there's also like different settings for the humor too. If you wanted to keep it a little bit more friendlier, at least from what I recall. So that's kind of nice too. It's such a wacky, weird sort of thing. Oh, and there's like extra little mini game type things you can do too if you want to jump into there. I don't think the multiplayer really has people in it anymore, but there is like a competitive multiplayer where a bunch of players like compete on all these wacky events and stuff. It's pretty cool. I guess I should also mention there were these cool billboards like the Sunset TV, and there's this guy, yeah, there it is. I don't know if they still do that anymore on here, but they had a guy that would do videos and stuff, and they were updating it all the time. And I guess obviously as time passed, they kind of stopped supporting that, which is a little disappointing. They really had a cool, maybe almost ahead of its time style of like marketing and visual style in this one, and it's just such a shame that we're not going to see this continue. I know I dwell on that, but like, just if this is your first time seeing the game, isn't it just insanely awesome and so cool? It's weird. I don't even know if I'm doing justice to show off like the gameplay experience enough. It's just such a treat. And when you die, there's all these like cool kind of situations that pop up, like you like become like a mummy out of a crypt, or you do like a Back to the Future type thing, or you know, there's just all these weird little twists to your death, which kind of makes dying fun. It's not like an impossible to play game. I mean, it's pretty easy going, but it's a blast. It's really, I want to get that across, that this is something that even all these years later, I'm just like swinging around, hitting things, I'm having a good time doing it. It just brings back a lot of memories and a little bit of wondering, you know, what could have been if this really would have went off over the top and really done well in regards to sales and stuff at the beginning. I think it just kind of released at the wrong time, and it maybe should have deserved like at least a definitive edition or something. That's busy, he's the best. I really wish I would have had like a stuffed one of that. But yeah, I'm sure the licensing on this one just makes it kind of, you know, something that we'll never see anything more out of, which is such a disappointment because it's so awesome. Oh wow, we've got a lot of these kind of crazy guys we gotta deal with. Oh man, they have started coming, but we've got nothing but the hits. Whoa, I am not happy with the amount of creatures that we are having to deal with here. Oh, the Dirty Harry. Oh, I get that reference now because I've actually watched that. That is absolutely hilarious. Oh, and then the compensator. Yeah, that one's always a little bit funny. What a weird game. I mean, like, it's kind of like a play on the zombie apocalypse to a degree, I guess you could say. What a rich and great kind of launch lineup the one had. It really did have some cool games to it, you know. And this one, it kind of makes me want to jump back into like Dead Rising and stuff, because that one is just a blast. Is that what is that? Is that a guinea pig? Or I love guinea pigs. I think that's a guinea pig. A weird picture. The art here is so cool. Oh yeah, wasn't there like a big battle here that you have to do where you go through the roller coaster and stuff? So cool. Oh man, I am just absolutely getting some crazy nostalgic flashback here. Oh, whoa. Getting blasted by things, but I mean, like, I don't even know if I really appreciated like the art style of this one back in the day either. I don't know if I can actually hook onto this now. I'm not seeing that there was a railing to... Oh, there we go. We had it. There we go, yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if I really appreciated, like, the art aesthetic back then. Because it's got a lot of detail in the environment, you know, not only in terms of, like, the crazy things you're doing and all the explosions and all that, but, like, all the little details. Like, this feels like a very lively sort of, you know, environment. Like, there's all these little smaller things to it that it really... Like, even the balls moving around, this game did not get the love it deserved, because this is one awesome experience. And I hope I've kind of been showing off that this is something that you should still give a try all these years later. I think you'll love the story. I think you'll find it really enchanting. Whoa, we are going to have to bring out some tea and Teddy. And it's just like a wacky game. Like, obviously, I'm not even really playing it right here, because you're supposed to just be grinding around, blasting things to get those, like, score counters going, and you get the insane combos, which is a lot of fun, but at least I'm having some hilarious, awesome fun with it. I kind of want to run into, like, a faction. I mean, they do have cinematic segments, too. I'm obviously just doing the open world here because I've, you know, finished everything when it comes to the story, but yeah, just like what an amazing and well done game that I just really do quite enjoy. Oh, I think this is the yeah, there's like these weird factions that have like popped up. I think this is one of those buildings. Yeah, you get these guys that are like kind of, I guess you could say, I don't know, some weird night type group. Hardcore, save for later. You could do all these like reward things, but yeah, these guys were kind of funny. You got some like weird characters you meet along the way. They just have embraced like the whole RPG type thing of the real world. Then I mean, there's different groups too, right? This is just like, I think this is actually like an end game kind of faction too, because you meet the one in the arcade right off the bat, which are more like, I guess you could say, preppy type individuals, but like it's just a really big, dense open world. I don't think people really gave it the credit it deserves. What a treat this is. Oh yes, and the whole like, I don't know if this was a zoo, but it's like a pond topiary kind of area. It was really fun to play around in. Like, I know I'm seeing some, like, loading faults in the background where things are, like, you know, kind of rendering as I go through it, but, you know, this is obviously the smoothest and the best way to experience the experience, even though it ran perfectly fine on the base Xbox back in the day, because yeah, that's where I reviewed it when I, like, checked it out, because obviously the 1X wasn't even really a thing at that time. It wasn't even an experience that people, you know, it wasn't even a thing. It was just the Xbox One, and then all of a sudden that came out, and I guess that really sort of changed like the whole discussion around the platform, and also like just the visual quality of what it could actually do. Is that the Moorig Island over there for the DLC? I honestly can't remember if that is or not. Oh geez, the giant tech things. Those things are absolutely terrifying. But yeah, there's so many things I obviously haven't even collected. There's like, you know, 100 more of these fizzies. I could just go around the map for hours collecting all of these things and gathering them. I guess that's the beauty of collectibles, is you could spend, you know, your whole life kind of trying to find them. Oh, and they had these epic standoff moments too, where you could basically battle these waves of creatures in order to make it to the next night. That was a lot of fun too. I just like remembering all of these great elements of what made this experience so compelling. Oh, there's the shoes on the line there too. See, I have not done a good job at grabbing collectibles in this one at all. And then you get like all these different art things to it. This was just such a well-polished experience. I don't know why people gave this like at all a hard time. It's such a fun, weird game that's so quirky and over the top and got cool movement to it, neat abilities, neat unlocks, neat weapons. I don't know. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Sunset Overdrive, because I love this game, and I think this is a good sort of revisit, just showing off what it is at this point and, you know, what it has to offer.